Today your heart is awakening, but is it truly awakening to Him? Do you feel that subtle vibration that stirs the soul, that sensation that something greater is calling you? Or is that inner breath stifled by the incessant tumult of the world? Notifications, concerns, fleeting desires that come and go like clouds across a clear sky? Every breath you take is a silent test, an invitation to observe what lies behind your gaze, behind your restless mind. Indeed, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find tranquility. Surah 13:28. These words are not simply phrases to be repeated mechanically. They are a call to introspection, a key for your heart to regain its original purity. Do you feel that tranquility? Or have you let the noises of the world fill your inner space, letting the tumult mask the voice that whispers from your soul? What did you allow to settle in your heart while you slept, while you wandered among obligations, distractions, worries? How many times did you ignore the small spark of light that God had placed within you, preferring to let yourself be carried away by superficial desires and temporary illusions? The soul needs presence, contemplation, that silent pause where one can hear the whisper of one's own essence. But too often, the wind of the world scatters this fragile light, and one finds oneself lost on paths that lead nowhere. Imagine for a moment that your faith depended on a single act, a single decision today. What would you do? What would remain of you if Allah decided to call you to Himself right now? Would your heart be ready to present itself before the Creator? Or would He find cracks, regrets, attachments to the things of this world? Every thought you have had, every intention that has animated your mind, every desire that has pulled you in different directions, all of this forms the mirror in which your soul looks at itself. And in this mirror, what do you see? Light or shadow? Sincerity or pretense? The human soul is like a garden. Every thought, every action is a seed you plant. If you plant love for Allah, gratitude, and patience, then your heart will blossom, it will bloom in light. But if you plant forgetfulness, grudges, distraction, or ego, this garden will become barren, filled with shadows and dust. This garden is fragile, and yet it is capable of sheltering infinity. Every moment you live is an opportunity to cultivate light, to purify your heart, to strengthen your spirit. And every breath you take is a chance to listen to that inner silence, that place where we hear the truths the world tries to cover up. Today, listen to this silence. Let go of noise, fears, pressures, and unnecessary desires. Feel the presence of Allah within you. Let this presence purify your thoughts, illuminate your intentions, and transform your desires. Spiritual discipline is born in this silence. Faith is tempered by this attentive listening as steel is forged in fire. Your heart is both armor and light. It can withstand the onslaught of the world, or it can shatter in the face of every distraction, every temptation. It is up to you to choose what you nourish. Look at yourself honestly. Don't let yourself be fooled by appearances or justifications. Every beat of your heart, every breath you take, every decision, is observed, weighed, known. If Allah decided to speak to you now, what would He find? Sincerity? Light? Or fear, doubt, and attachments to this world? Ask yourself this question frankly without looking away. Courage is not in great visible actions, but in the silent honesty you carry with yourself. Every moment of awareness is an act of worship. Every breath lived with presence is a silent prayer. Even your mistakes, if you observe them with sincerity and repentance, become stones upon which you can build light. The soul is patient, but it is fragile. It needs to be reminded of the truth, nourished by contemplation and presence. It is in these moments that spiritual discipline is forged, that we learn to tame our desires, that we begin to elevate our spirit toward that which is eternal. So today, make this choice. Don't let your heart sleep in silence. Truly awaken to Him. Listen to what your soul whispers when no one is around to hear it. Every thought, every intention, every breath can become an offering. The light is waiting for you to shine in your heart. And even if the world continues its tumult around you, if you remain anchored in this awareness, you will have found true freedom, that of the awakened soul, the one who turns to Allah, who listens, who feels, and who chooses light over darkness. Consider the companions of the Prophet, these men and women who walked this world with a heart steeped in faith, a soul guided by the light of Allah. Umar ibn al-Khattab, whom many feared for his strength, trembled in secret before his Lord. His nights were silent, but in that darkness, his heart opened to infinity. His tears rolled down his beard like pearls of sincerity and faith, a testament to his innermost commitment. Ibn Masudi recited the Quran with sobs, each syllable a flash illuminating his soul and that of those who listened to him. These men were not born perfect, far from it. They had their doubts, their weaknesses, their trials. But what made them invincible was their conscious choice to place Allah at the center of their existence, to live every breath in His presence, even when the world seemed to challenge them with all its distractions and temptations. Faith is not what one says but what one lives. This prophetic reminder is a compass that spans the centuries. Words alone are not enough. Faith is manifested in courage in the face of injustice, in patience in the face of pain, in steadfastness in the face of trial. Ibn Qayyim teaches us, the soul is purified by what it loves and corrupted by what it desires besides Allah. Now it is your turn to look at your own heart. How many times have you let it go astray, charmed by what is temporary, blinded by fleeting pleasures, and forgetting what is eternal? How many times have you accepted the ephemeral when eternity awaits you? Every trial, every difficulty, every obstacle is a forge. Your heart is the metal and life is the fire. Patience, perseverance, resistance to temptation, sincerity and worship are the hammers and anvils that shape your soul. If your intentions were pure, every breath you take could become a silent prayer, a constant reminder of your servitude to the Creator. Are you ready to leave behind the illusions of the world to embrace the wisdom of those who walked before you? The Sahaba learned to tame their passions, to transform fear into courage, weakness into strength. Their lives were not easy, they faced persecution, poverty, war. And yet, their commitment to Allah made them lights that still shine today. Reflect on yourself. Do you rise every morning with this same intensity, with the awareness that every moment can be an act of faith? Or has the daily routine anesthetized your soul, allowing you to slip into forgetting what is essential? The companions of the Prophet had their routines, rising before dawn to pray, meditating on the Quran, immersing themselves in contemplation, seeking the company of the righteous. But they never considered these acts to be boring obligations. They were the breath of their existence, the source of their inner strength. Think of Bilal ibn Rabah, the freed slave, whose voice raised the call to prayer despite the chains he had worn. His courage, steadfastness, and love for Allah were examples of living faith. Think of Abu Bakr, who always chose truth and justice even when all seemed lost, who offered everything he had in the way of his Lord. Every action, however simple, carried immense spiritual weight, for it came from a heart devoted to Allah and nothing else. Each companion left a mark, not by the size of his possessions or by the extent of his visible exploits, but by the purity of his inner commitment, by the constancy of his heart, by his ability to listen to Allah in the silence of the night and in the clamor of the day. Their life is a mirror in which you can look at yourself today. What do you see? A trembling, weak and flickering faith? Or a solid light, capable of resisting trials and distractions? Their stories are not simply ancient tales, but guides, maps for navigating the turbulent oceans of existence. They are invitations to reflect. If these men and women with their human flaws were able to achieve this level of devotion and discipline, what is preventing you from drawing closer to Allah? Fear, doubt, comfort? None of these are excuses, for true faith is measured by the constancy and sincerity of the soul. So observe yourself. Every action you take, every word you speak, every thought that crosses your mind can be transformed into an act of faith. The light of the Sahaba is there to remind you that you can choose sincerity over illusion, patience over haste, courage over weakness. Every moment is an opportunity to walk in the footsteps of those who have made their hearts a sanctuary for Allah. Life does not wait, and every breath you take can become a bridge to eternal light. The soul is a garden, and every thought is a seed. What are you planting today? The wind of forgetfulness often blows strongly, and it scatters the seeds of light you have sown in your heart, leaving room for shadows, regrets, and fleeting desires. See your heart as a field that demands your attention, as a fragile vessel capable of containing infinity, capable of reflecting light or darkness according to what you pour into it. The soul that forgets Allah becomes impoverished, but the one that remembers Him becomes eternally rich. Al-Ghazali. These words are not just words, they are a breath that reminds your heart of its true destiny. How many times have you filled your heart with unnecessary worries, lingering grudges, vain desires, and thoughts that lead nowhere? And how many times have you opened it, silently offered it to Allah, letting it bathe in the light of His guidance? Close your eyes and listen to that inner silence. This silence is more than the absence of sound. It is a mirror in which your soul can contemplate itself, a space where every pulse and every breath becomes a reminder of eternity. If you had just one chance, just one moment to purify your heart, what would you do? Time may pass, but every conscious breath, every waking thought, is a seed that takes root for the hereafter. Regrets have no weight in eternity, but faith and sincerity become jewels, shining and lasting. Let go of the invisible chains that stifle your spirit, those of fears, doubts, grudges, and worldly desires. Let your nafs be transformed, your kalb illuminated, and your ruh rise, like a discreet perfume rising to the sky, invisible but present, light but indispensable. Your life is not a repetition, it is not a mechanical cycle. It is a call, a divine breath passing through you. Are you ready to answer this call? Imagine each moment as a drop of dew on the leaves of your soul. Each one is fragile, but together they nourish the garden of your heart. Impure thoughts are like pebbles on this path, they slow you down, they hurt. But memories of God, sincere actions, the whispers of Daikra are like water that irrigates, that makes you grow, that transforms an inner desert into an oasis of light. Each conscious breath becomes a silent prayer, a secret dance between you and your Creator, a moment when time stands still and only eternity speaks. Reflect on the beauty of this subtle mechanism. Your beating heart, your rising breath, your contemplating mind. All of this is a daily miracle, a manifestation of Allah's mercy, which offers you the possibility of transforming every thought into light, every intention into a sacred act. When you meditate on your heart, when you stop to listen to it, you discover how vast it is, how capable it is of containing invisible worlds, subtle truths, treasures that human eyes cannot see. Your ruh, your spirit, does not merely survive, it yearns for elevation. It seeks harmony with the divine, resonance with that which is eternal. Let your kalb, your heart, be the beacon that guides your nafs, your consciousness toward the light. Every regret, every mistake, every weakness is an opportunity to purify the heart, correct the trajectory, and elevate your spirit. Even the smallest seed sown with sincerity becomes a tree of light in your inner garden. What if, just for a moment, you could feel Allah's presence like a gentle breeze caressing your soul? Feel that peace, that clarity, that invisible warmth that transforms darkness into light. Every breath becomes a connection, every heartbeat a prayer, every thought turned toward the light an act of faith. Your soul is not just your refuge, it is your temple, your sacred space where the divine can be reflected. The world around you is bustling, but in the inner silence, you discover the immutable truth. You are capable of transcending, capable of purifying, capable of elevating. Every conscious moment is a victory over forgetfulness, a victory over distractions, a victory over yourself. Your life is not just a succession of days, it is a journey of the soul toward the light. And every breath, every moment, every conscious meditation is a step on this path. So look at your inner garden today. See the seeds you have sown, see the flowers that are growing, see the shadows that are trying to settle in. And choose. Choose light. Choose sincerity. Choose to purify your heart, to elevate your ruh, to illuminate your kalb. Life is a breath, but this breath can become a continuous prayer, a sacred and eternal act. Are you ready to hear this call and let it transform your soul? Every action you take, every breath you take, every word you speak can be an offering to Allah, a gesture filled with light and meaning. Your entire life can become an act of worship if you choose to surrender to Him fully. Daikra is not simply a mechanical recitation. It is the light that shines through your soul, purifies your being, transforms darkness into clarity. Every invocation, every mention of Allah's name, every sincere sigh toward the Creator is a spiritual breath that elevates your heart. Whoever puts his trust in Allah, He is sufficient for him. Surah 65:3. These words are a promise and a reminder. Trust in Allah is the source of all serenity, and the soul that clings to it finds peace amidst the storms of this world. Begin today. Rise for prayer with sincerity. Do not consider it a routine or an obligation, but an encounter with the one who formed you. Every rak'ah, every prostration, every silence is an opportunity to bring your soul closer to His light. Repeat His name with concentration. Let each syllable penetrate your heart and illuminate the dark recesses of your mind. Meditate on the wisdom of the scholars, contemplate the greatness of the Sahaba, and allow yourself to be imbued with the profundity of the Quran. Every moment can become an act of faith. Even when you walk, even when you speak, even when you observe the world around you, you can transform every movement into conscious worship if your intention is pure and directed towards Allah. If you strive today, your heart will be stronger tomorrow. Trials will become stepping stones rather than obstacles. If you persevere, your passions, desires, and fears will be tamed, and your mind will find clarity. The light of faith is not a passive gift. It is earned through discipline, through meditation, through constant remembrance of the Creator. It is built when every act, even the smallest, is imbued with awareness and devotion. It is a light that grows with every effort, with every breath you offer to Allah, with every moment you choose sincerity over illusion. Today choose the light. Choose to purify your heart of everything that defile it: grudges, regrets, vain desires, and unnecessary distractions. Choose to strengthen your spirit in the face of the challenges, temptations, and pressures of this world. Your heart is the field, Allah is the sower, and every thought, every intention you raise becomes eternal fruit. What you sow today will determine what your heart will bear tomorrow. If you raise it with sincerity, it will bear fruit that will illuminate your soul and the souls of those around you. Reflect on this reality. Even a simple moment of conscious presence can become a sacred act. When you listen attentively to the silence around you, when you observe the beauty of creation, when you offer a pure thought to Allah, you transform the everyday into a living spirituality. Time is not just a mechanical flow. Each moment is a gift, an opportunity to purify, elevate, and illuminate your being. The moments you neglect are seeds that are lost, but those you dedicate to the divine presence bear eternal fruit. Don't underestimate the power of daily remembrance. Small gestures repeated consistently build a strong heart. Dhikr, prayer, meditation on the Quran, and the words of the scholars are not mere practices. They are the stones with which you build the fortress of your soul. Every verse meditated upon, every hadith integrated into your life, every conscious inspiration is a brick that strengthens your connection with Allah. And even when trials arise, when life challenges you, this connection becomes your anchor, your light in the darkness, your refuge from the storms. Imagine your heart as a garden, every thought and every action as a seed. Allah is the sower who lights the sky and makes life grow. If you nourish it with sincerity, with discipline, with faith, this garden will bear sweet, fragrant, and eternal fruit. The seeds of light you plant today will become robust trees tomorrow, sources of inspiration and peace for you and for those who cross your path. Do not let the winds of the world scatter these seeds. Protect your garden, water it with dhikr, illuminate it with prayer, fertilize it with meditation and mindful presence. Every breath you take can be a reminder of Allah, every thought can be directed toward Him, every intention can be transformed into a sacred act. If you choose today to walk with awareness, speak with sincerity, and act with purity, your heart will become a beacon, a light that illuminates not only your path, but also the paths of those around you. Faith, when lived in this way, becomes an inexhaustible source of peace, strength, and guidance. So today make this choice. Lift up your heart, purify your mind, and anchor your faith in the eternal light. Let Allah guide your steps, inspire your breath, and illuminate your thoughts. May your soul find peace, may your heart become a beacon, and may your faith shine like a light capable of illuminating the world around you. Every moment is a chance for renewal, every breath is a silent prayer, and every conscious thought is an eternal fruit that you offer to your Lord.